alright. Millie just came downstairs naked, so I'm going to go get something.
Okay, sounds good.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Good. Excuse me, honey. You can sit wherever you want. He always gets naked.
Hey, dude. How's it going? How's your morning been going so far?
I don't know. I'm tired. Okay. You gonna stand up?
How was this weekend?
It's like any other weekend. I'm spending the entire day being a one-on-one with one kid and outside in the community when I don't want to be.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I read the reports that I got, what was it, Thursday? So there was the one from you, and then there were a couple more kind of just requesting like services in general for the kids. So that's the main thing that I wanted to talk to you about today.
Who's requesting service? Like what kind of services?
So the way that the report was screened, there's like two different types of reports. One is related to child abuse or neglect, and the other is called a services report. So that means there's no allegation of abuse or neglect. It's just kind of a general request for more help and more services. So that's what kind of report this is.
Okay.
So I wanted to kind of talk to you about what you're looking for as far as services.
Okay.
At this point, I understand that you're like pretty overwhelmed. There's a lot going on. Yeah, so I wanted to understand more about what you're hoping for as far as services at this time.
Are you asking?
Yeah. So what are you thinking at this point?
Okay, so I'm trying to figure out if we're all supposed to be in long-term, well, not supposed to be, we are
Okay.
in long-term care. And we all have disabilities, and I'm not capable of being a caregiver 24 hours a day. What is supposed to be done other than having me in CTLS that authorize hours and don't help? So I'm trying to figure out like what else could be done. Like we've had like a lot of CPS cases. CPS has had their dad's phone number. Why haven't they like wrote any letter to a judge or something or anything? Like have not done anything to get him to help.
Sure.
I don't understand.
So you're looking potentially for their dad to help out more with them?
Well, if no one else is going to help, then it's like common sense. It's their dad.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out like,
Yeah.
even if it's not the best option, it doesn't make sense in my head for me, a person who is not able to remember that they're cooking or anything, to be taking care of kids 24 hours. The more stress that I have, the more or no sleep, the worse it is for me. So
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so I did see that you had some other open cases like the one last fall. So I read that report. And just to clarify, like we can't write letters to judges, that's all done in family court. But I definitely can talk to their dad about getting more involved and kind of negotiating how that could be, more effective for you and him. Because you're right, he is their dad, so.
well, I mean, you can talk to them all you want to, that's not gonna help. So we have an open case right now with for like placement and stuff, and they put us through mediation.
Okay.
So, and this has been going on for a long time. He's not responding. The mediators are not responding. and I was told that you guys could write paperwork for, what is it called? Family court. Like,
Sure, yeah.
about what, like, if you can't write a letter, then how do I get the paperwork? So I can just give them the paperwork of history and him not, like, because it doesn't make any sense.
Sure. I can send you the records request form, so you can request like the assessment, like the one Malia did last fall. You can request that assessment. We can't like write just a letter. We can only send paperwork that we already have.
Yes, yeah, I'll take the paperwork that you already have. I want it from
Okay.
all of the cases.
Okay.
How do I do that?
I can send you a set form that you have to fill out, so I can send it to you via. Do you have an email address?
Yeah, I already have like the form, but it was confusing the way that it was worded. It said you have to say specifically what you want. You can't just ask, which doesn't make any sense because I want everything to have in the file. So
Yeah. So I think what I would do is say something about like assessments from these dates. Like if you remember approximately.
I don't
when.
know any dates. I've had like 5 cases over 5 years. So
Okay. I can look into that for you because the one that I read was just the one from last fall. So I'm not sure about
the other one.
Yeah. Yeah. So I can look into that, and you can fill out that records request form, and then they'll get those records to you. So you said that senior and the mediators haven't been getting back to you as far as like.
He's supposed to have them half the week.
Okay.
So he agreed to have them half the week, and then he stopped getting them.
Sure. And do you know why he stopped getting them, or what happened there?
No, you would have to ask him.
Okay. But if he was willing to come get them, that would be fine with you.
Yes, but why would he be willing to come get them? Malia was already aware that he's not willing to come and get them.
Okay.
And Jen was aware. It's not gonna change overnight. It's been like 8 years of not helping with his kids.
Yeah.
So if there's nothing put in place, then we're just gonna keep doing this over and over again. So I guess what services can you help with in place of their dad, since you guys can't write a letter or anything?
Are you interested? So I know that you're in mediation right now. Are you interested in any like legal representation?
Nobody's gonna legal represent me for free.
We do have a service that will represent you for free.
What?
There's a family law clinic downtown that I can get you a referral to if that's interesting to you.
Have you used it before?
Yeah, I have had clients use it before.
And they actually go to court?
They'll help you with preparing documents. I think it depends on
I
the
don't
case.
need help with paperwork.
Okay. I think it depends on the case if they can come with you to court. I'm not sure.
Okay, because I'm like, I recently had work with disability rights, and I really needed them to be there, and they would not. So I don't think there's anybody who will actually come for free. So yeah, but I definitely don't need help with paperwork. I have ChatGPT to do all my writing.
Okay. Yeah. I can reach out and see if they'd be willing to come with you. I don't know if they are. I'm not sure. I think it depends on the type of case and all of the like details. So I'll reach out to them.
Okay.
Let me see what else. So I know that you're enrolled in CLTS, and you get how many hours of respite do you get a week right now?
I get none.
You get none. Okay.
If I had a respite, I don't think I would be calling CPS for help. You mean, I'm confused. Are you talking about the sensory zone? So
Sure.
the sensory zone, Neil goes there 3 days.
Okay.
He goes there for 10 hours a week.
Okay.
Isis goes 3.
Okay.
That's what you mean by respite?
Yeah. Or
No, I meant like, okay, so my family did foster care here for years.
Okay.
And when they wanted to go for respite, they had somebody get their kids for days or a week.
Right. Sure.
And they weren't sick. So that's what I was asking Malia for. She asked me would I be fine, and I said if someone was able to get the kids for at least 3 days per week.
Sure. Okay. And right now, just to like clarify, they never stay anywhere else overnight. Like
No,
with
they don't.
anybody else.
The respite center?
Sure, like the
Rise?
respite center. Yeah.
Yeah, they're never available in a crisis, which is usually often.
Yeah.
And yeah, they contacted CPS, or they told CPS that they need to be involved because we're asking to use them more than the other families, and we need more help than just going to the respite center. They're going there today. I have court
Okay.
from the last CPS,
Sure.
the stuff regarding that, me asking for a break and then going to jail. So
Okay. And are there any like family members that?
if there was these
Mhm.
questions you guys keep asking over and over again, it gets so irritating to me.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
So you've seen my mom. She's schizophrenic. She's leaving on Monday. She said that somebody threw up in her back last night and was stabbing her with my knives. So she is my 24-hour caregiver.
Sure.
She doesn't do anything but clean the dishes and sometimes the bathroom and the laundry.
Okay. So I will talk to your CLTS provider, because we kind of have to work together in situations like this since she's already involved. And I think I'm gonna reach out to Neil Senior and see if he's willing to talk to me about picking up the kids more. I think that those are kind of the first steps from my perspective. Since they
So there's no emergency respite.
we don't really have emergency respite. I can look into respite for the future. We do have some foster families who are willing to take kids for like weekends or long weekends or whatever. But that's a process that takes some time to find people who are available. So that's not something that I can provide like urgently. It'll be as soon as possible. But
Okay.
I'm not sure
So
when
if
that
I
will be.
went into a assisted living,
Sure.
who would help with the kids?
We probably in that situation try to like place them with their dad, since they do have a father who is kind of involved and there's
He's not kind of involved.
okay.
Would CPS follow up to make sure they're not neglected?
It kind of depends on the situation. If there was an open case,
There
then-
was an open case. He left them at home by themselves. That was a CPS case before that. So I called the police, and then the police the CPS worker Jen investigated me after he left them at home by themselves. And then she kept it open with the PACE program after that. So yeah, there was an open case. But not only that, there's been issues like in the last I tell the CTLS and case manager stuff, but they don't report it. So Isis said their dad choked, that he choked her, and I brought it up to her, and she's like, oh, whatever. So the only reason why he doesn't have full custody is I can't trust him to do the right thing, and no one's gonna care because there has been times where he's dropped him to school off dirty or in nasty clothes or whatever,
Sure.
and the school don't report anything. So that's my concern.
Okay.
My oldest son is with his dad at least 5 days a week. I don't
Okay.
have a problem with him being with his dad.
Mm-hmm.
My son is nonverbal, so if anybody does something to him, he cannot communicate.
Yeah.
So I was just trying to figure out if they were placed, how would that work? He needs a one-on-one. So I don't understand how I'm supposed to be able to give him a one-on-one at home all day long. I have other kids. I need to take care of myself.
Yeah.
I can't even use the bathroom. He's walking out of the door. So there's a lot of safety regarding us being here without caregivers.
Yeah. And what kind of safety concerns are you concerned about, like him running out the door?
I mean, yeah, that's one of them. Since he will go outside naked, or just wander, like he's at risk for eloping, or he does because he just anytime I'm like in the bathroom or something, he'll go outside and walk off. Obviously, I have traumatic brain injury, so when I'm making them food, if somebody calls me, I could go and take a shower because I've been interrupted the thoughts and then not know that I'm cooking until the alarm is going off. Car accidents for not getting enough sleep. There's a lot of safety things, leaving keys indoors. I just don't understand how I can have documentation stating that I need a caregiver for at least 8 hours per day and no one do this, like give the same amount of time for the kids, or put it as like I can't even think of the word, like a priority for them to have like a caregiver. If I'm supposed to have a caregiver 8 hours per day, why would you think that I would be capable of caring for kids, one who needs one-on-one care all day long? It's crazy.
Yeah, and I will be talking to your CLTS worker to kind of understand more about all of that.
Because if they don't start helping me, then I'm just going to remove myself from the program. It doesn't make sense to continue to stay in a program that is not helping me, and then when I ask for help, I'm referred back to the program that's not helping.
Yeah.
Buying me a gym membership and buying them locks for the refrigerator or something. That's not the kind of help that we need.
So I'll reach out to her and kind of try to understand more about what's going on, like from her end. And then I think I will reach out to Neil Senior and just kind of start conversations with him. Because it sounds like, I mean, I hear you. Like you're kind of in a crisis where you feel like you can't take care of the kids at the level that you are. So trying to find some stuff in the meantime, like Neil Senior, could kind of be a good first step, I would think. Because like I said, we just don't have the resources for emergency respite the way that I wish we did. So I think that'll be my first step. Is there anything else that you think would be helpful at this point?
No, the only thing that I thought would be helpful was paperwork to send to a judge. But I'm thinking that maybe after I go above and beyond, I can get a letter from my doctor.
Okay,
So you don't have any families that have disabled parents who can't take care of their kids I don't understand, why is there not anything put in place for families that are not able to take care of themselves and their kids? It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
There has to be something put in place for someone who is physically not capable of caring for themselves and kids. I can understand it was mentally, but it's physically, which is not making sense. There has to be something that is put in place. I can't see that there's not. Because CTLS alone doesn't make any sense, because CTLS does not provide the respite, they provide the hours.
Yeah. And I don't disagree with you that there should be more programs, better programs, but they're
They're armed?
CLTS is some of the best kind of programs for families that we have.
For disabled parents who
For-
can't take care of themselves?
That is kind of where I would usually think to refer someone to in that situation.
So you don't have any cases where a disabled parent can't take care of their kids, what do they do?
I could ask around about people's experience with that. I haven't personally had experience with disabled parents who are struggling to take care of their kids.
With their, I said myself and my kids.
Yeah, I haven't personally had experience with that.
There's probably a reason why.
Yeah, I understand this is frustrating. And I'm trying to do what I can, which is, like I said, there's not a lot of programs that are that kind of overarching, where they can give that many hours of support. So I'll try to find what I can.
What about hours?
Sorry, what was that?
You just said something about hours?
Yeah, so there aren't programs that can give the hours of, like, that many hours of support. And
What hours?
like kind of what you're talking about with the 3 days of
They can. Yeah, they can. With the doctor's note, they have that. They've authorized 40 hours per week. But I have no caregiver, so how does that help?
Right, that's what I'm saying. There aren't, yeah, like finding a program that can do that.
Well, they had a program that could do that, and they were sending students. So my issue is neglect. So we're being neglected. How do we fix the problem? There has to be something. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and I hear what you're saying, and also I'm telling you what I can do right now, which is talk to
Well,
my
you
dad.
can tell me what you can do. I'm saying what is supposed to be put in place. So we're being neglected. What is a social worker supposed to do?
I mean, that's a big question. That depends on the situation.
This situation.
In this
Because
situ-
nothing's being done.
Sure, in this situation, I'm telling you what I can do.
Okay, we're being neglected. What can you do?
I'm going to talk to your CLTS provider more and just understand kind of the situation. And I'm going to reach out to Neil Sr. and see if he can get involved with seeing the kids more and taking care of them more.
Is that protocol? Is that the minimum or is that the maximum for neglect?
And like I said, so you can talk to my supervisor more if you want.
Can you have your I don't understand why the supervisors never come themselves, because this is a
Sure.
complex, it's always a complex case.
Sure.
So I'm always directed later, you can talk to the supervisor when I have questions, and then I can't get a hold of the supervisor.
Sure. Yeah, my supervisor, she's pretty communicative. So I can send you her number. Her name is Janet.
Okay.
And that's something that you can talk to her about.
Okay.
Because this is the protocol that I'm getting from her. And
She
she's
told you to do that?
Yep, that's what we talked about. When I reviewed kind of all the reports that we got, we talked about first steps, and this is what we were kind of thinking.
So she's aware of safety concerns, and that was her next steps was to call Brittany and Neil Sr.
Yep, after reviewing all of the documentation and talking her and I, that is kind of what we thought as far as first steps. And that's
Okay.
something that you can talk to her about, why she thinks that,
Okay.
and what the thought process.
Can you call her now?
I don't know if she's in a meeting or not, so I'm gonna have to send you her phone number.
Okay, I'm gonna write it right now. What is it?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to grab it for you when I get back to my office to see what she's doing today.
I don't have her phone number.
I have her personal phone number, but I don't have her office phone number. So I'll have to get that for you when I get back to my office, which is just right on the report, so I can get that to you when I'm back to my office.
You don't have her office number, you have a computer.
Yeah, I have an iPad to take notes, and then I do have her personal phone number on my personal phone. And
I was
that's
talking
how-
about on the computer. You don't have her office number in your emails?
I don't think I do now.
How long have you been working there?
I've been working here for about a year and a half.
Oh. That's another concern that I always have is Usually they send people to help that have not been there a long time, that doesn't really have that much experience. Okay. Well, this has been helpful.
Well, I will send you Janet's phone number then when I get back to my office, and I'll let you know as far as like the conversations that I'm having, what's going on with it. So I'll keep you in the loop as far as all of that. Yeah. Anything?
I can just come down there and fill out the release of information.
The records.